Hey guys, and how's it going? Hey, we're going to continue on this mid-70s Kubota L225, I think it's the numbers on it, tractor. Quick little backstory. We grabbed this about 2 weeks ago, condition unknown, out of a property that it probably sat there 8 or 10 years. When we got there, the hood was removed, thrown to the side, the cross brace was gone, the air cleaner was gone. Like they had some kind of issue with the tractor and then gave up with it from that point. Anyway, we got it on a trailer, dragged it home. I got it here, was able to fire the engine up. Engine seems like it runs fine, full throttle. And functioning some other things on it. The loader seemed like it worked okay, but when we got to the 3-point hitch and we went to have that come and lift up, it does not lift up. So whether that's a new failure or a failure that it already had, I'm not sure. Also, the power steering does not work, and I think both of those are on the same circuit. The loader is powered by its own separate pump. On the front of the engine, there's a pump that runs that setup. This, for the power steering and for the 3-point hitch, on the back of the injection pump is another little pump. So that's the circuit for that we need to go look into. Anyway, that's it. You're caught up. Let's get to wrenching. First thing I think we're going to do though, let's get that the tiller off the 3-point hitch. Just get it out of our way, a little bit easier to work around the tractor, and we'll go from there. I also grabbed some goodies in the meantime too. Got some fluids and some filters for it, as it's going to need it, because I think the stuff that is on it is probably original. It gets this thing off here. Anybody questioning why they call it a 3-point hitch? 1 point, 2, 3, 3-point hitch. And it's category 0, category 1, category, it keeps going all the way up towards the size of the tractor. All this stuff is category 1, I believe. Garden tractor is like category 0. So let's go pull these quick release pins, and actually we should probably get a dolly to put the thing under. Let's attack that. So I had a yard sale yesterday and I grabbed these. I think the guy was a carpet installer, but what's neat about them is they got a little pin in them. You push that in, you could change the width, how far apart they are. I think we'll leave them what they are. I wonder if we can take them, jack that up, maybe with a pair of vice grips. We'll clamp it to each side of that to keep it from wanting to rock. And it only weighs 500 pounds. 478 to be exact. Let's see if that would just do it. Sometimes that dry shaft has a clip on it that locks it onto the spline. Get out there. We got a clutch, and I think we just pull apart on the front. I think we just got to push the pin in. Yeah, I think it's just a retaining pin. Get that to move up. I gotta tap it with a hammer. Be spring loaded. See if we can hold that in. Now we should be able to back up the whole thing. And hopefully not crush us. We'll get out of here. See if that'll roll away for us. Be easier to put it back on too. I think for shits and giggles, we should just fire up the tractor. It will be a cold start. I don't know if the battery's going to have any juice in it. And we'll try the 3-point hitch without the 500 pounds hanging off. See if you get anything out of it. Get power. Let's go. That can hurt. Nope, not a thing. But I don't feel like I get even much feedback from the lift lever. It's dark. I wonder if whatever this is firing inside here could be screwed up. There's a big piston under here. That's what raises and lowers the 3-point hitch, and then it's got a flow control on it here. If you run it all the way in, it'll stop any fluid from moving around. So I tried that in a couple of positions. I didn't see that. And it has 2 lines. Well, first going to a valve, but runs up to the front. And that's your injection pump, and that is the pump running the rear hydraulics. I do have a filter for the hydraulics. I think it is in the transmission transaxle somewhere back there. It's a long, I'll show you. It's a long filter that looks like that. So somewhere in there is that little mesh, fine mesh filter that could be completely clogged up. Just a guess. I think I'm in favor for taking that piece of crap up out of our way and removed. What do you say if we just kind of pop some lines off? Maybe that one and or that one. I don't know if that's a fill, I don't know if that's the, don't know. And we're not going to look it up neither, unless we absolutely have to. We're going to try winging it and figuring out what's wrong with it without the help of external opinions. Well, you guys could comment, but no books, no internet, unless we absolutely have to, then we'll chase it. All right, let's get some lines off. Maybe we fire it up, see if any flow is happening anywhere. It's a good chance that there is absolutely nothing in this too, that is just totally out of fluid. So I don't even know where the fill is for that, but again, we're still educating ourselves. Let's go. We're gonna spin that whole setup. Gotta clean it with an air gun. Let's see if we go take a peek with the light down in the hole. Alright, let's go see what we got. Do you see fluid down in the bottom? It is up. I don't know. That help or worse. That's about your best bet. We say about 2 inches from the bottom, maybe an inch. That could be too low for the low side. If we were to, can we pick off like the pickup, which is low, right? Should be low somewhere on it. Which one of these, somewhere up here, that one? Is that the vacuum part of it to the pump? Where's that go? Maybe go chase that. But we just take the hose off, the line off, and if fluid comes out of it, that means it was below the line. Maybe. If I can't figure that out, we're just going to go dump some in it and try it one more time. It's that deep. Actually, I'm going to fire it back up again with that one line off. We'll see if you have any flow. So I'm going to do this where you can see it. About, you know, it's going to pop out of there when the tractor shakes and shoot you right in the face. Let's give her a shot. Ah. Well, we're waiting. Thank you. You got fluff. That's not our issue. Nothing saying it's making a lot of pressure, but it is. There we go. All right, let's go ponder what that tells us, huh? Let's look at the 3-point hitch lever. This is just for setting your high and your low to trip the lever. There's nothing in here that is shifting gears. This is just a feedback to pop this into neutral when it moves into a certain position. It only feels like I should have 3 positions and I only have 2. It's like it's got down and float, and then like all the way forward should be more. Not sure of that. Anyway, let's go pop the key out of it or unbolt one of these out of the way and just see if we get any more throw out of the actual controller. Got a jam nut on it? Yeah, it's got a jam nut. Yeah, we can back the whole thing off. Let's get that out of the picture. Oh yeah. Well, you think the only problem was that was all screwy. Well, it's not instant a problem. Let's go fire it up, see if it does anything first. Third time? What do we get? Not it. I say we make the executive decision. Let me try popping the piston out of it. Just take a look at what's going on with the actual component that goes up and down hydraulically. They have a big O-ring on them, and sometimes they fail and the fluid could be going right by it, but again, we're just guessing. Let's get the wrenching. Back on the other side. What do you think's in there? Like a pressure relief switch or something? A spring with a check valve? Be my guess. I think I'm going to have to get on there with a 6-point and I'll round it off. It's more like it. You can come pinging out at us. That was underwhelming though, wasn't it? Alright, let's get the face of it off. See what we get. I'll just throw that back in there. It's got some oil in it. How much you want to go pull that lever right now? See what you get. So that should be able to lift up on that. Get drawn in. Back you up out of harm's way a little bit. Let's go play with stuff. See what does what. I do believe we are in the 3-point hitch went to the up position and stayed there. when in doubt, keep taking more stuff apart. I'm gonna go pop this out of here. Maybe that's that filter, and maybe a line on the other end, that line, the other one we talked about. Craig got a better view than I do. What's that? That pull out of there, you think? Let's go throw a magnet on it. Move the end of it, whatever it is. Got the other half of this. Yep. That's the diff lock pedal. Back side of the diff lock pedal. That's the pressure relief. Should be a check ball down in there. Sometimes you're just too big for the hole. You know what I mean? Don't see a ball in there. Might be a valve. And on that note, it could be a valve. So that's what puts tension on the shifter. My thinking is it's just a valve or a plunger that maybe moves up and down and opens different ports to go have it go through and pressurize it. You know, we should just fire it up at this off and just see where fluid shoots out of it. But let's just kind of go a little deeper. I have a feeling that's what it is. I think it's like a brass cup down inside here that opens up on a cam and opens a circuit. Just a guess. Let's go find out. I'm going to play that little game of operation. See, there's. I'm going to reach down there with this. There we go. There's a little barrel or a little piston. Yeah. Don't know if that's supposed to have any kind of seal on it or not. And I would think that opens this port right here, pushes fluid through here up to the top of the piston through that flow control that was in the head. Had the knob on the outside. I'm back to looking at this again. I just want to make sure that flow through here is working, that this isn't just in a blocked position. I'm going to blow through that. So I shut the valve off and it has full flow still through it. Would I? You would think it would just be a passage right through there, right? So that's supposed to be a valve that pops back up and it's stuck in one position. There's no other port on it, right? Do that again. Let's block that all the way off. Yeah, you blow right through it. Doesn't make any difference. That doesn't seem right. Let's go all the way the other direction. Yeah, I think that might be it. Out is in and in is out. You know what I mean? Nope. Doesn't matter which way the valve is. It's stuck both ways. That's not right. Whatever valve is inside there, you're doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let's go operate on that. Got a little thing in there. I think that's just a pin from the other side. Lighting. And that's just the pin rotating. So that pushes down on the valve and opens the circuit. You know what it's doing? So if that's in there like that, that is pushing on that surface. And it's got to be opening a circuit. Divide or diverting pressure. So let's go see. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. I'm going to go push that down in there. We're just going to go see if that opens and closes that circuit. I wonder if that was stuck. We wouldn't yet want to have a spring behind it. There was no spring behind it. Like, so what would hold? So hydraulic pressure would fire it. That's the only thing I could think of. Or is it just a check valve, or it allows it to go back one direction when the flow goes the other direction? I don't know. Keep looking for another excuse. It's just those. That's all you got. Looks like I should seal. Yeah, it just seems like it should have a spring, a light spring in there, but it may just rely on whatever pulse of oil comes shooting at it, holds it there. So that's all really there is that, right? And if we can close it up. Getting an education. I feel none of this is our problem. I'm getting that feeling of aha. So my guess is that that's a bleeder, I'm thinking. A way to let trapped air out of the system of the piston up top. Why do we get no movement? And what are we getting for pressure, if anything? Is anything doing anything up there? So should we button that back up? Well, we took that hose off already, just so that we have 37 hoses that are gonna beat the crap out of us when we fire the tractor up. Maybe we butt some stuff up, pull another hose off somewhere, or leave this cap off and see if you get any kind of flow moving anywhere, and just proceed with caution. So yeah, I'm gonna button a couple of things up. I said buttoned a bunch of stuff up. I left the top off. Let's give her a crank and see if we get oil pressurized out of that hole. I wanted to start, I just wanted to crank a little bit. Hopefully that should be just enough to see if we have any flow going through there. Do you ever get the feeling sometimes you're doing something? That's a bad idea. I have that feeling right now. Alright, so no. So if I fire this lever, I would think this is just stopping the return path, maybe choking it off. I'm sure. So we get no oil, as far as I can tell, going to the mechanicals in the back, the cylinder in the back. So why? Why is it not doing that? We gotta go figure that out. It should come out of there. We'll lift it up to 3-point hitch. See if we can. I think we just have no flow going to the top of it. Because for the arms to come up, fluid has to go in there and push down on that. And we see no fluid. Stinking fluid. Doesn't want to play. So just a little catch up with my thoughts. I don't think we have a power steering problem. I think the steering, the main shaft going down, is binding up. I think the power steering part of it works. I think the link with the steering box actually has an issue. So that was the line that was one of the returns from the power steering. Came up, down, and around. And that's what was dumping in there. So fluid is traveling through the power steering setup. And that kind of makes it so it isolates the rear circuit by itself. Still not doing what it's supposed to be doing? I don't know if that helps or hurts us, but that's one piece that we can kind of take away from maybe the troubleshooting, or just keep in mind. Cracked it loose. Let's see what we get. That line's loose. Crank it a little bit. See if we get any oil. It'll start in a second. So. Yeah, strip. There you go. Going. Alright, so we got fluid through there. Again, we know what kind of quantities we got, but so is the passage from here to here. We don't know because we don't know if the fluid's going this way or this way. I want to say this is our pressure line coming in and feeding it, is my guess. You don't think that it just had a bunch of air trapped in it and it wouldn't go, do you? You would think it would still build enough pressure of oil behind it that it would pop up eventually, but it'd be real springy and bouncy. It would eventually fill up with fluid still. Maybe? I don't know. Definitely comes out of the line. You're out of line. You're out of line. Clamped out the decompression valve. Should be able to crank it now without it starting, and it should spin faster too. I don't know if I need the key on or not. There we go. That'll work better for us. So I would just put back together what we had, and I cranked it for a little bit, and definitely now pushing oil to the top side of the piston that we need to go do, and that should work through the head of the valve that we clean that up, I guess. I'm still thinking it should be a light spring on there, but who knows. Let's get the cover back on it again, and now that we can crank it, I might throw a jumper, battery charger on it too. We can crank it with just a motor without worrying about trying to start it up and have the shop smell like diesel and smoke everywhere and all that kind of crap. And we can just kind of run it off the starter a little bit and see if we can get stuff to function. I got what I think is the passage to be correct to pump fluid. Let's go see if we get anything out of it. I got the bleeder open too, so. That starter cool down. That's like spinning an engine without spark plugs in it. The decompression valve is full, so it's not beating so bad on the starter or the battery. Not sure what I'm getting yet, if anything. I do have oil running down, so it did fill up that chamber. Let's go bolt that up, and we'll try and cycle it, see if it starts lifting the arms up. Just start it up to get some RPMs out of it. Fixed. I don't know what fixed it, but it's fixed. I think one of those plungers were stuck and not allowing flow to go through like it should. That's good. We still have I was checking for the power steering to see what that was doing, and it's tight. I think it's the column, I'm not sure. Let's regroup. I'm going to air out in here a little bit, and we'll start looking into what's happening maybe with that's the next functional thing that kind of needs to be addressed. You know, make it go and steer, stop. Not necessarily in that order. I want to bolt this link right here. That'll disconnect the steering box from everything down there. Now let's get rid of the genuine Kubota tie wrap that is made in China. Alright, that part. I got the knot for that. Let's see what we get. Nah, it's all in the steering wheel. She tight. Good. Maybe the hydraulic part of that assembly is good. One thing I did notice though, I'm not that confident in, is the front tie rod is a piece of pipe welded to some rod end, so there may have been an issue in the past, just saying. Alright, let's go find out what's causing that to be like that. It looks like it's pretty decent. Let's go get a urine sample. Don't cough. Hold on. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I want to see if we have any water or issues inside that. We'll put that plug back in. Let's go check out the tensioner on the other side. Maybe somebody cranked it in. The other side of the tractor. And that's the adjustment I'm talking about there. So it's got a jam nut on the outside. I'm going to go crack that loose. And then back that screw up a little bit and just see if, again, somebody cranked down on that a little too tight. That's what it feels like, just an over cranked down, bound up steering box, but maybe not. You go ahead, could have you do it from here. 20-foot screwdriver. Right, let's go just. It's half a turn, no full turn. Yeah. Let's go see if we can see any bearing that's kind of binding up on it. Yeah. I say we start by just kind of lubing up under the wheel here. See if there's a bearing right there. It's weird though, because it doesn't. It's hard. It could be not though. It feels like it's got like a springy, like there's a length. The bind is down here, and you're able to kind of twist the top of it a little bit. How about some gel loop? Goes on real thin, and over time it thickens up. Once you get it where it needs to go, I am gonna go. And that is spinning. Something is spinning. Either the wheel's spinning on the hub. You got to go in further. Let me put you in a stand. I'm pretty sure the wheel is just stuck from sitting in one position for the longest of time. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of walk it through its paces a little bit and see if anything kind of goobers up. Wing. Let me just do that for a while. I'm going to go spray a couple of pivot points on it and see if anything does what it's supposed to do, and if not, we'll just keep tearing into it. Another thing I noticed is around that fill plug is RTV, so someone's had that column apart. You see it over there too on the right hand side. That has been apart, so there's probably been an issue inside there. Maybe it was getting strong-armed for the last 10 years of use, and it's just the way it is. Watch your toes. So my guess, this is a little collar or sleeve that's supposed to keep water from going down inside it, and as you can see, and it's definitely seen better days. And I wonder if it just crudted up that upper bearing so bad. There's no. I'm gonna go clean that out. There's no kind of plastic or anything, and then maybe we'll throw a little bit of heat on it Work it back and forth. Starting to suspect that either that, I don't know if there's a bearing down below or does it just go right into the gearbox. Also, water could have run down and taken out whatever one's in the bottom. It actually kind of feels that way, but I really don't want to take that apart. I prefer that it's up here, but this is what happens. I'm digging up some mud. You know what that is? That's what's left of the rubber that was that bushing. That's what all that crap is. And some mud. Alright. We may have got closer to what our issue is. What do you think? Sometimes the only fix is a good blow-in, right? Makes all things better. Yeah. Now we can kind of see down in the hole. Yeah, there's definitely a bearing right on top there. Let's see if, I don't know, maybe a little bit of heat. I'm sure it's a roller bearing. You think this unthreads? Does that look like a cap to you? It has like a weird, would that have threaded down and the boot been captured in there? Let's go throw something on this real quick, see if this will turn off. It'll be gingerly. Actually, got them on backwards. Yep, that's right. I'm guessing no. Don't know. Or it could just be so rusty. It has to have some way to come apart, right? How would you get to that bearing? To kind of draw it in there, you know? I think it's down below. Yeah, I might regret this. I might not. What are you doing? We're in. That looks like a good place to dribble some Earl. Let's see if that might help our setup. It's quite a bit. Filling it. There it goes. It's full now. Alright, crank on her some more. Go with kerosene this time. Getting better. Suck it up. I think it's time to change its tune. Yeah, I know you'd see it my way. I think kerosene was the one that got down in there thin enough with the heat. There we go. I just gotta get rid of the Moni part, which I think that now that we'll put the lube in. Move that top. Oh, that dry down in there. Draw down in there. We'll let everything cool off. Yeah. Make sure everything's good when it cools off. Because right now this outer one could be expanded and not rubbing on it. I don't know. But the idea was to try to get a little bit of room in there. Once you get a little bit of room, then you can get a little bit of fluid in. And you start working it and come back with the air gun. I didn't show because I went the camera dirty. Took a rag with the air gun, kind of blew around and get all the crap that's down in the crevice someplace to go. And eventually, it's gonna look pretty good. If I can make it all the way around, get it on a spin. I don't think so. That's enough. All right, enough of the screwing around. So I think we know that that boot failed and caused a lot of water to go down in there. So let's see if we can make a barrier, a gauntlet, if you will. And we'll just pack that solid so that there is no place for water in this organization. Maybe what we'll do is put the steering wheel on too. And right above where it runs down the center of the steering wheel, which I think might be happening too, under the button, we'll glob a bunch of that on there too. Go seal that off. Get the wheel. Make sure the shaft is completely covered. So that down in the threads there. Let's get that nut on there. Actually, let's go before we even get that far. Let's go give that with, especially where the key is, we'll pack that. I don't know what's straight. Let's go with that. That'll hold moisture out. Hey, that's nice and free. Let's go bolt that con rod back up. See what the front end does. All right, it's functioning. See what we get. Let's try glow plugging it. We haven't tried. I don't even know if they work on this. We'll see. Glow plugs are little hair dryers. Down in the intake, they warm up the combustion chamber, and diesels fire off of a glow compression, hot air, not a spark plug. So the glow plugs help make the hot air. Let's see what we get. I got the adjuster way out for the steering box. I gotta go crank that in. I just backed it all the way out to get it out of harm's way, in case there was something going on inside there. Come on. Right about there is where it hits. We'll cycle that some more. I do think that nut is supposed to spin with the wheel. Must have dropped the key. The key that is supposed to be there fell out. Well, you know what? I was putting something together earlier. I heard a tink. Now I know what the tink was. I gotta go find the tink. I did hear it fall out. Found the tink. There you are. Crisis diverted. Let's try this again. I'll adjust that steering box too once I get it. I'm just trying to get rid of the play down to a certain amount. Let's glow it. Just for a second. It's got play somewhere else too. Because that's pretty immediate moving. Right there. That's okay, but this, I think the nut is actually loose. It looks like the whole rod end is rocking back and forth on that. Get that cotter key out of there and see if that nut is tight. That should be a better view of it. See right there? That's how much there is. No, I think it's the end. I don't think it's loose. I am going to go pack that with grease. Fortunately, it's a tractor. It's not that imperative that all that play is gone, not like a car, but it'd be nice if it was a little better than what it was, right? Well, I think that's got two major hurdles out of the way anyway. We've got the 3-point hitch working and the power steering is working. A little different than what I thought would have been the issues, but hey, the whole idea of it, right? Troubleshoot it, figure it out. I think it was probably one of those two check valves, or I don't even know what you want to call them. I think one of those may have been out of whack, or just something I missed altogether, and I don't know. But I think we're all functional. Brakes already worked. Again, I don't know how well any of this stuff was, and plus I haven't gone through the transmission and run it through the gears. I just kind of put it in gear and let up on the clutch a little bit and saw the wheels try to turn. So I think, unfortunately though, we're gonna go shut it down right about here because I have a busy week ahead and I want to make sure that I got you guys covered for at least something. And if I get more done on it, you won't be seeing this part of the video because I will have gotten another day's shooting in on it. But as of right now, this is as far as we got. Turned out pretty good. I don't know what the, that's an adapter. Dark in there, huh? Because here's the axle. Then it looks like it might be an adapter for that rim. I don't know. I don't think my other tractor has that. Might, but I don't think so. Good. I think the next one we're going to go and get some of the other fluids. I'm not that concerned about that. But we can get the battery locked down, set up. The hood is all banged and bent up. We can get that back into place. We've got to get an air cleaner set up on it. We need to get the exhaust clamped down decent. Got to check and see if the charging system is working. The light does not come on when you turn the key on, so I don't know if that's working or not. And that also looks kind of the wiring and whatnot is a little bit to be desired, so we may have an issue with that, and we still want to go just clean that stuff up anyway. I don't know if the 3-point hitch is why the hood was ripped off of it and it was kind of thrown to the side. Like something was a failure on it where they stopped using it. You wouldn't have ripped the hood off, take the front bar off and the air cleaner out of it if it wasn't an issue. So I'm going to give it 65% that that was the problem, or that was just a problem from sitting. After we fired it up, it was being an issue and one of them just stuck. I don't know. Bye guys. Till we get to that one, I'll see you then. Later. So this one I've owned for about 20 years. Been a great machine. Don't use it much during the summer other than, you know, pushing some piles around and everything. Mostly for snow removal between the grater blade in the back and the bucket on the front. But we're going to go bring that to the shop so that it has some stuff that we can copy off of that is missing. That right there. Go give her a cold start. See how she does. Probably been back here a couple months. During the summer, it's usually not an issue. Let's see what we get. Blow it. The charge light doesn't come on this one either. This one says it has 804 hours on it. I actually think that's real. I think the tach still works on this. That's your glow light right there. Let's see what we get. So what do you think the chances are we can get up on that trailer without putting the ramps out? Piece of cake.
I think I riled somebody up.